Joining us this morning, Titania Jordan.
Tatiana Jordan. Did I get the name right? Jordan?
Titania.
Okay. All right.
It's Titania Jordan.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our time together with Angela and Adam. Angela, you are the CSO, which stands for?
Chief Sales Officer.
Okay.
However, at Leadercast, I'm a CSO, which is constantly serving others.
Yes, I love that.
Thank you.
And then Adam, you're the Leadership Solutions Guy.
That's correct.
And what does that mean?
So I kind of help clients and future clients navigate through our solution set, whether that be the events coming up or some of our other exciting leadership solutions that we have. So the all know to know kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's really cool. You ask about where that derived from. Donald Miller was a speaker for Leadercast last year, and he has an amazing book on he would rather be a guide to people than a hero. And so we really feel like that is our role, is to guide all of the people that participate with us. And so we want to serve people. And that's why we changed the title of our team.
That's amazing. And that really is the heart of what effective leadership is being a servant leader. We're probably using the word leader a lot throughout this video, just FYI. So hold on to your seats. Leadercast. What is Leadercast in a nutshell?
So in a nutshell, Leadercast, we are a leadership development company, most commonly known for our event called Leadercast Live. So we've had this event probably ongoing now in some shape or form for 16, 17 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Foundations with John Maxwell and his team. There's a little transition there when we had the Chick-fil-A Leadercast that a lot of people, the Chick-fil-A Leadercast, I know that. So, and now as we kind of grew and expanded globally, we really want to get Leadercast as our own brand out there, and that's where we are today. So, Leadercast is coming up in May.
Yes.
We did some very exciting things within the last year. We did our first Leadercast Women's event that happened in October, which was an amazing event with amazing speakers, and that's something that we're going to look forward to continuing year after year, and I think it can rival the main event. So
That's amazing. Yeah. So for those of you watching, Leadercast Friday, May 4th, 2018, and then Leadercast Women will be this fall in October.
that's correct.
And what are the differences between the two?
Great question. It's interesting because with our inaugural event this year for women, many people thought, are women only allowed to attend? The difference is simply the speaker cast. And so our mission at Leadercast is to fill a world with leaders worth following. And so we expanded the need or the events because there is a need for people who are seeking more inspiration. So our live event has always been a very diverse cast. And so we want to make sure that that always represents the world, because we talk about filling a world of leaders worth following. And so it's important that that cast looks like diversity, right? It looks like the world. And so our women's event is strictly a female cast of speakers. It's also hosted by a female. Dana Barrett did an amazing job last year with our inaugural event. And so that's where that will grow. But we want to provide for organizations that are really seeking to empower women to develop and encourage diversity and inclusion within their organizations. So we really felt like we were meeting a need of the corporations here in Atlanta as well as around the world.
It's so true. I crave the presence of female leaders because growing up I didn't have as many as I would like in my life, and I love all of my male mentors, but there's something to be said for just feeling that connection between somebody of your same gender who can really show you the way in a way that nobody else can. So thank you for having both. And
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited. And you can actually watch live, correct? If you don't attend in person.
That is correct, and that's what's so exciting about Leadercast and why we have the ability to scale our viewership.
Yes.
And so you can watch it live as a simulcast, but what's very exciting is people can flexcast. So what we refer to those sites are host sites around the world. at 13 countries, 835 host sites around the world.
Wow.
Yes, and so we have about 130,000 viewers the day of the event. That's why we are the world's largest one-day leadership event.
And I would definitely say
Thank
the majority, obviously
you.
the majority of the world are watching from a host site location or a simulcast location. So although the live site here in Atlanta is great, you know, the world vision or how everyone else is tuning in is from a remote location. So that's pretty amazing.
And the one thing I want to say is with our host site leaders, we can't do what we do at Leadercast without that family, because our host site leaders, quite frankly, we think we have an amazing day in an event, both at our women's and live event, but they go above and beyond. And so we're fortunate that we have leaders around the world that seek to improve leadership as well in that dynamic, and so they just do amazing jobs. And we will go around the day of the event and show live simulcast from host sites as well, to show the presence and the power that we bring to the globe.
Wow. Talk about the technical prowess that is needed to make this happen, you know, on time without flaws.
Our production team is absolutely top-notch. We look at that, and the thing is, we have a war room.
Yes.
So we have a host site leader, Nick Repas, who runs our client success, and he and his team are in that room locked in, and they are responding to technology issues around the world or comments. And so it takes a village, and we're just so fortunate that we've spent 17 years amassing a team that we can put this on fairly flawless. However, at our women's event, we certainly had some technology issues, but we came back and we took care of everybody. We gave them a year of free viewership from our host sites.
Wow.
Right, because we wanted them, much like your comment, and thank you so much for saying that, people seek female leadership, and especially younger women that follow behind you and I.
Absolutely. I would like to talk about the correlation between Leadercast and John Maxwell.
Okay.
How is that? How are they tied together?
So I did mention John Maxwell had a strong foundation of this company. We had his content when he was out there kind of putting, I think the name of the event was called Maximum Impact at one point, kind of stemming off that.
Yeah.
And as he, I guess, retired the first time,
First time.
whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly.
It was kind of held up by Leadercast for a while until he came out of retirement. And, you know, there's a lot of, how do I say it?
Leadership synergies
Yeah.
that have derived from the relationship. And it's interesting because at Leadercast and then John Maxwell's group, we're in a triangle of, I think it's 10 miles. There are 3 leadership organizations that have maximum impact, I will use his word, on the world. And so we're very pleased that we all work together. I actually still get calls for the Maxwell organization, and I send emails forwarding those over to the Maxwell team. So we're great friends, and we all aspire to do the same thing, which is develop world impactful leaders that make change.
Yes, I love that. It's such a wonderful collaborative environment when you embrace the ideals of servant leadership. You know, lifting each other up and supporting each other for the greater good. It's wonderful. So you have 8 to 9 speakers annually. It must be really hard to narrow it down, right? I mean,
It's an incredible process, and I'll be honest with you, excellent comment. Our content team, Natalie Dupuy, does an amazing job with her team. The vetting process, I am embarrassed. I did not realize on the production side, and so as we're out promoting it, we're asking, where are the speakers, where are the speakers? It's quite a process to make sure that your content is aligned, and I'm preaching to your choir because this is a space that you live in. I give you such credit. And so it's not only about this is our theme, but how does everybody, our run of show, does it seem like after we get an overview of what they're presenting, how do we tie that together? And she's made such a huge impact over the last 2 years. We've heard that our live and women are the best 2 in our 17-year history. And so she's just 26. And she is an amazing talent. I call her the Cat Cool of Leadercast.
wow, that is a huge compliment.
She is an amazing leader. She's incredibly bright, but she's such an incredible strategic thinker as well in all of our run of show.
That's amazing.
Thank you
That is
very
truly
much.
amazing.
Thanks.
What's your take on our speaker lineup?
So I've been with the organization now, this will be my 4th Leadercast coming up in May. So I've kind of seen some amazing speakers that I know the names, and that's the draw, right, to the public. But some of the most exciting things for me every year is maybe some of those lesser known speakers, because for me, that's where I've kind of gotten a lot of takeaways. I'm kind of blessed that I'm usually the concierge of the floor that day. So I get to be in the bowl, I get to actually watch. If I can pay attention, my heart's usually beating super fast.
Leadership solutions guy.
Yeah, exactly.
A little busy.
And so I'm kind of blessed to kind of be in the arena and be able to watch the show. Whereas, some other people might be running around that day or whatever it might be. But I've been really excited about some of the lesser known speakers that do come on stage, whether or not be their first or second time on there, they usually bring some impactful moments that are just
blow people's minds.
Whoa.
And it's funny, I said, tell us about hour. I used the word hour to talk about this event. I have nothing to do with the event. Yet you guys make it, but
we've got it.
You truly make it feel like part of the community. It's in Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I'm all about leadership and empowerment, and so it's just funny that I had that little slip of it's our thing. You've won me over. I'm let's do this. What can I do? How can I help? Yeah. I want to talk about the theme of 2018, leading yourself. Just embrace what that means and tell us.
It's interesting because many people have come back to us from our host sites really saying, can you give us a little bit more of an idea? And it really is some of that with Natalie's great design is about we can, until we lead ourselves well, and I think that we certainly live in a world where we look at people who are deemed leaders, that you could look back on the history of their life and think, gosh. And so it's really about that personal responsibility. I think one thing that's really driven it as well is I've heard some statistics recently about the selfishness and the increase of narcissism in the world. And so we really feel that it's important to not just shine light on good or bad leaders in the world, but shine it back on ourselves. What's the saying? If you point at one person, you've got 4 other fingers coming back at yourself. So it's really about self-efficacy. It's really about these different 9 speakers and how they've had junctures in their career or their personal lives that they really had to take a moment to say, if this is going to be different, I have to do this.
Yes.
And so we really want people to know, we want them to feel empowered, we want them to leave inspired, but most importantly, we want them to leave with a plan. And so it's about 9 people presenting, this is the plan at which I led myself out. And that's what we really feel inspired with. And the thing is, we will take that into the women's event as well, which, gosh, over the last year, that theme's hugely important.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Absolutely. I think a theme that resonates alongside with leading yourself is just personal responsibility.
Yes.
I have personally decided to abstain from alcohol, work out 3 days a week, try to cling tightly to the Whole30 plan, just kind of, I want my mind, my body, my spirit to all be in sync and be as strong and as clear as it can be. And only then can I serve others in the best way possible. And I think that's something people should really embrace. The same thing as, if the plane has a lack of oxygen, you've got to put the mask on yourself first.
That's right.
Before you can help other people.
Absolutely. It's interesting you talk about all-encompassing overall health. I'm so fortunate. I became a fan of Leadercast 7 years ago through being at a host site, and then have the opportunity to join an amazing team. And Adam is a foundational player at Leadercast. He's a franchise player. Nick Repas, a franchise player. They've been with us a long time, but you talk about your overall health. Not only do we aspire and we are passionate about being leaders, we joke because I just smiled, we're on Whole30. We have planking contests during the day as a team. And so for us, it's about, we really do aspire to be leaders in the building to each other. And that's what's really cool. So thanks for highlighting that, because that really is where that transpired as well.
Absolutely. It's not, you can't have your career and then your health and everything in different silos. they interplay now.
Absolutely.
And so, making them the most efficient as possible is key to part of being a good leader. One thing that I think is really cool is the community and how you've built it. And, Leadercast is one day, and Leadercast Women is one day. But this is a year-long, continuous movement. So how do you cultivate and build that community and keep it strong?
Sure. I mean, I always said kind of Leadercast, when you're at Leadercast Live or Leadercast Women, it's like drinking out of a fire hose. Right? There's so much information coming at you that literally my first Leadercast, I was just, my hand was cramping. I'm writing so fast. But there's a couple exciting things that we have been introducing to the community. So how do we get from where it's Leadercast Live or Leadercast Women is one day to where we can serve our community 365 days of the year? And really, some of the solutions that come up, I mean, our content is something that's super powerful, and that's what people crave, is that inspiration or that glimpse of whatever it is to propel yourself forward. So what we've done is kind of similar to what we're doing here today. We've got a library called Leadercast Now with over 800 plus videos of interviews that we've conducted, much like this one. And it's a subscription base, so leaders can kind of log in, and everyone's kind of starved for time right now. So really the beauty of Leadercast Now, or the videos are about 2 to 3 minutes, I would say.
Wow.
3 to 5, yeah.
3 to 5 bite-sized information with action steps following the video. So you can actually hold yourself accountable to what you're watching that day. So it's a pretty powerful tool, and a lot of our corporate clients are starting to buy in and really use that towards their own personal and professional development. So
I want to put a link to that library. What is the URL?
It's www, gosh, as I go blank, on leadercast.lc now. And you can go out there for that solution, and it's absolutely incredible. We actually have one of our largest enterprise clients that we are watching their usage peak because they are going through a financial restructuring. And so it's really cool to see something that you hear in the news, yet watch that your solution and tool is helping people navigate through a very difficult financial time.
Wow, that's very impactful.
Thank you.
And so that would say that URL one more time, because you just can't hear it enough.
I am so sorry. It's leadercast.lc now. So that's for Leadercast Now, which is our library of 3 to 5 minute leadership solutions.
Great. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. And you also clearly pour back into the community in real life. Talk about your initiative with Kennesaw State University.
Okay, great.
Sure. So this is something that we've kind of been working on, I guess, for some time now. I know Dan Stotts over there at Kennesaw State. He's the executive director, the Michael
Executive
Coles
Education.
of Executive Education. A lot of executives there. But I know Ange has kind of known him coming up through her background in education and everything like that. But we're excited about this kind of JV relationship with Kennesaw, as we believe it's really the wave of the future. So what I'm talking about is digital badging. So this solution couples leadership from an academic standpoint, with that being, Dan and his team and all the great work that they put into that, coupled with some of the videos from Leadercast Now. So you're really getting leadership on a self-paced Quest platform from both sides, both academia, and you have practitioners out there that are sharing their insights and everything like that. So it's a really cool kind of product to get out there. And at the end of it, I think we have about 40 hours of total content.
Yep.
You would earn a digital badge in leadership excellence that you can then display on your LinkedIn and things like that. So
And what we're hearing is the wave of the future, or actually they're seeing it trending now, is that recruiters as well as organizations are looking for people that do not necessarily have an MBA, but have functional areas with which they're going deeper. And so that certificate really will have a lot of impact for people that are seeking employment or seeking to elevate themselves within their existing organizations.
Absolutely. E-learning is huge. And I have a great deal of respect for people who are self-starters and motivated to do something like that on their own, to better themselves and learn as much as they can about fields that they're passionate about. So that's great. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could be a college student again and learn all the things, right?
Well, we would love to get you on that badge, so we'll talk about it following the recording.
Awesome.
Seriously.
Awesome. I love that. As a servant leader, we like to say, how can we help you? How can we help you succeed? And just in the community of people doing big things in the city, we also like to do that as well. It's Atlanta. We're the city of love. Like we just love each other, want to help, and true Southern hospitality. So how can we, both at 3CI and everybody watching out there in the internet land, help you? What can we do for Leadercast? What can we do for Angela and Adam?
Well, thank you very much for asking that. It's what could be extremely helpful for us is obviously for those of you that are watching and for your audience, thank you for having us. But just know that we are probably the most cost-efficient way for you to provide incredible leadership content to either whether you're a Fortune 500 company that are a client of ours or people in the community, many not-for-profits, chambers of commerce, YMCAs, YWCAs,
Wow.
sororities, colleges and universities. For those of you that are watching, you don't have to travel to the live event. We can very easily be a resource for you to simulcast that event or provide flex casting. If I can share a great example,
Please.
we just celebrated an amazing MLK Day, and we were so fortunate that Bernice King was at our inaugural event. And she brought down, we had 2 standing ovations, and she was absolutely amazing. What's happened from that relationship is we have had people come to us to celebrate MLK Day and use that 20 minutes of content from Dr. King, and she was on fire. So that's how we can also, if you have a need that's not just about an all-day event, but you really have limited budgets, or personally you want to invest in yourself, we can provide you with that, and that's what our passion is. So we're driven by our passion to develop leaders, but we also do it in a very cost-efficient way that will increase your personal ROI as well as your organization.
Wow. Let's talk about personal ROI. I think that's something that people overlook.
Yes, I agree with that. It's interesting because we have people come to us all the time to a solution guide to say, what are ways that I can invest in myself? And you talked about being jealous of college students and online learning. We have more people in a public cohort that are personally investing in themselves because they aspire to be a leader in their organization, and they may not be deemed talent or in those groups where the organization is investing more in them. And so that's where we provide a cost-effective or efficient way for them to invest in themselves. And we're already seeing people at testimonials that are coming back, and we've only been to market 6 months, that are telling us that they've had an increase or they've seen in their performance reviews change. So that's on a organizational or professional way, but really people come to the day and we get stories all the time. We had someone recently who came to a Leadercast live event and barely had any money, and it changed her career trajectory, but most importantly, mentally, she was in a very bad place, and it made a difference. It was a pivot for her in her life.
Wow.
So we hope to impact our communities, and that's where, whether it's through an organization, corporately, or personally, and that's what I think is really unique about Leadercast, because it's just about an individual or it can be about an organization, and we can customize that for the individual or for the company as well. And that's what I'm passionate about, because we can scale, and that's how we can truly impact the world.
That's huge. My next question was going to be, tell me about a leadership win. That sounds like one of them.
If there's not feedback like that after a Leadercast event, that's kind of how I've gauged my passion for being with this organization. I'm blessed to be around people like Angela and leaders in my life that really helped me take a look at my own life. I'm a new father. I have a 17-month-old at home, and she's unbelievable.
Gorgeous.
And she's walking, she's talking, she's doing so much now. But, you know, being around this type of content and people and the leaders that are pouring into me is really helping me look at my own life. Like, before I got to Leadercast, I never really considered myself a leader in a sense. I mean, sure, I crave personal development, wanting to get better, but, you know, being around leaders that are around Leadercast, like Angela and everyone, but it's kind of really opened my eyes to how I want this world to be for my daughter. When she's older, when she's entering the workforce and things like that. So events like Leadercast Women or some of our other solution sets that are really making a difference in the world, that's how I'm taking that. You know, it's personal for me because just of my situation. So I'm extremely blessed for sure.
That is amazing. So I love spending time with people that either give me chills, make me laugh, or make me cry. And this time with you guys, I'd say would check all of those boxes.
Oh,
I mean, I held it in.
thank you.
I held it in, held it together, but
Thank
like,
you.
that's when you know you're onto something.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody out there who is watching, whether they are with a company or they just personally want to take it to the next level and embrace what you're providing, where do they go?
Well, you can go to our amazing new website at leadercast.com. And it will guide you. You will have the ability to purchase a ticket if you would like to attend our live event. It will also give you resources to connect with this amazing team of solution guides that you can. You will be connected to them immediately, and they can help you as a host site. And either you're a small organization, you're a small group, or you're a large corporation and you would like to have, so we up to 2,000 people that will watch from a host site.
Wow.
So just call us. We're here to serve you and guide you and get you connected to fill the world with leaders worth following.
Great. So that's leadercast.com, obviously for the day of events, whether
Yes.
that's Leadercast or Leadercast Women, plus the amazing community you have, the library of content that you can consume at any time, plus your collaborations with the local community here in Atlanta, whether it's KSU or other great things you do. Adam and Angela, thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And before we close, is there anything else that you'd like to touch on or say and let us know about?
I'd just like to thank 3CI and thank you for having us on today. What's really important is in a world that I feel like is so highly competitive, and Adam spoke earlier about our time constraints, is that it's only through great leadership organizations that come together and know that it's not about market share for business. It's truly about gaining market share on great leadership. And we live in a world where it is a make or break point that we must have that. So thank you for being and working together with us. And if you aspire to do the same thing, please reach out to 3CI, how they help make the world better with leaders, but also for Leadercast. We're all committed and aligned and working hard together.
The rising tide raises all ships, right?
Exactly.
Amen.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.